Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 10.
Developing now, Lincolnites are having a blast on O Street.
We're partying on a highway. That's really cool.
Partying in the street? Yeah, not something you get to see every day. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Rod Fowler. Good to have you with us. That's right, a block party on O Street to celebrate the accelerated construction of the big downtown O Street project. Our own Jake Holman was down there tonight, and Jake, were people having fun?
Hey, they sure were, Rod, and how could you not, right, on a street like that? Now, take a look here. This is actually the scene just a couple of hours ago. Hundreds of people, if not maybe 1,000, enjoying the block party featuring live music. But tonight, we also talked to local businesses impacted by this construction project and how events like tonight benefit them.
Party on O Street Thursday night, the city hosting a free block party in downtown Lincoln while O Street continues undergoing construction. Featuring live music, vendors, and more. But local businesses are grateful for the city giving back, stating it's tough being impacted by the construction.
When I heard about the construction, I was a little concerned just because, you know, it kind of blocks off our flow of traffic of things. But now that I've heard that we're doing, you know, block parties and like things like that, it just, you know, gives a new life to kind of downtown O Street, it feels like, and maybe start something new.
It's cool to see that the city cares about us. I mean, there's a lot of, this project O Street is changing quite a bit of stuff up.
Community members and influencers like Keenan East says this is a great idea for people to explore O Street like never before.
There's a lot of people who are here right now who probably haven't been to O Street in quite some time, you know, let alone being on it. I think this is the first time I've ever experienced having O Street closed down. We're partying on a highway. That's really cool.
And there's still plenty of work to be done before this project is complete. But businesses in the area say they're looking forward to the new look on O Street, and this part of town deserves it.
Nice to see down here being represented. I definitely think we deserve it.
This Project O Street thing is something that has to happen, and, you know, we just kind of have to work through it, and it's nice to know that we have the city's support to, you know, be able to do things like this.
Now, according to city officials, this project, basically from Centennial Mall all the way west to 9th Street, is ahead of schedule, although the city's website says this should all be done by the fall of 2027, if not sooner. For now, reporting here in studio, Jake Coleman, Channel 8 News.
Looks like a good time. Thank you so much, Jake. Nebraska farmers might benefit from a proposed merger between Union Pacific and Norfolk Southern. The two companies refiled their merger application today, and Governor Pillen says it would benefit farmers by giving them greater flexibility and moving ag products faster. He says it would provide single line service across the country and access to nearly 100 ports on the east, west, and Gulf Coast. New developments. The man charged with attempting to assassinate President Donald Trump was back in court today. Lawyers for the suspected White House Correspondents' Dinner shooter agreeing to keep him in jail before trial. Prosecutors say Cole Thomas Allen was planning the attack for weeks. They say on the day of the dinner, he searched for the president's schedule on his phone. And then, before leaving his room, they say Allen took a photo of himself showing weapons strapped to his body.
He made reservations earlier in the month. He accumulated the weapons. There was a lot of planning and a lot of thought about this.
According to the court filing, as Allen sprinted past security, he raised the shotgun and fired it in the direction of the stairs leading down to the ballroom and in the direction of a Secret Service officer. It also says the officer fired 5 times at Allen with none of the bullets hitting him. It is time for your first forecast of the evening. Here's a live look outside from our Allo Cam. Hey, can you believe it? For the last day of April, we have plenty of sun, a bit cool, of course. And May 1st already coming up tomorrow. How's the weather looking to kick off that month? Let's toss it over to our chief meteorologist, Rusty Dawkins.
A little strange. Last year, I believe we were really warm for the first several days of May. This time, a little cool to start the month of May. We'll get up there eventually, but today was cool. Tomorrow, a little on the chilly side. Here's what it looks like outside right now, 27th and Yankee Hill Road. Honda of Lincoln, Cam, just a flutter or two on that flag, and that's about it. 48 degrees, so chilly with mostly clear skies. and a light wind. Now a sprinkle or two in north central and northeast Nebraska, most of that not getting to the ground, but if it is, 1 or 2 raindrops. Otherwise mostly clear skies and already in the middle 30s in Broken Bow. A lot of 30s trying to show up in the central part of the state, but most of us in the 40s, even to 50 in Beatrice. We have a very light wind. That wind had just, as soon as the sun went down, it went away. Stormcast has the temperatures by early tomorrow morning dropping into the 30s, maybe even the 20s further north and northwest. I think a lot of us will be in the middle 30s, and then we'll try to warm up. 62 and mostly sunny. That's after starting off in the lower and middle 30s. We do have frost advisories, but we'll talk about that later. 57 by noon and into the lower 60s, which is about 5 or 6 degrees below average with a northwest wind at 10 to 20 miles per hour. So we'll talk more about the frost potential and how long until it warms up in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Rusty. New details now. Authorities saying they found the 2 juveniles suspected to be behind some threats to a Seward County school. The sheriff's office believing the 2 were involved in TikTok videos with threats to Centennial public schools. We originally brought you this story 1 week ago tonight. Deputies say TikTok banned the account. The 2 juveniles are being referred to the Seward County attorney for further action. New at 10, one step closer to a new farm bill. Tonight, the U.S. House passing a sweeping new farm bill. It is drawing both praise and criticism from farmers and families. Meg West is in the newsroom with much more on this. Meg?
Hey, good evening there, Rod. Listen, this bill definitely hits close to home. Lawmakers are proposing different changes to these bills that would directly affect farmers and ranchers here in Nebraska, and there's a lot at stake. Supporters of the bill say it accomplishes 3 major goals. First, promoting food security, making sure Americans have access to high-quality, affordable food. Second, the economy. The food and ag industry supports more than 24 million U.S. jobs, and in 2024, the economic impact of the ag supply chain was nearly $10 trillion, or 1/3 of the economy. And lastly, enhancing stewardship, investing in ag research and conservation programs. Some opponents say the bill misses the mark when it comes to food assistance. The group Nebraska For Us says they are deeply disappointed that Nebraska lawmakers voted to advance the bill without reversing cuts made to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, saying more and more families can't afford the rising cost of groceries. Representative Don Bacon voted to pass the bill and says it provides certainty for everyone.
A new farm bill means certainty for farmers, ranchers, and everyone else. Certainty about being around for next year's planting season. Certainty about affording to feed your family. Certainty about Americans being able to feed Americans. And at the end of the day, you can't talk about affordability without talking about food. And you can't talk about food without talking about the farm bill.
As the bill stands now, 72% of the projected spending goes to SNAP, the largest part of the bill by a landslide, with crop insurance and price loss coverage coming in as the next biggest spend categories. And even though it passed the House, the Senate still needs to take it up, which it's expected to encounter a little bit of tension there and maybe some changes made. So the bill as it stands now could definitely look different before it hits law. In the newsroom, Meg West, Channel 8 News.
Thank you, Meg. Breaking now, let's stay in the nation's capital. President Trump signing a bill to end a partial government shutdown. Here's a live look at the state capitol there. President Trump passes the Senate and House-backed bill for the Department of Homeland Security. And just in time, money to pay TSA agents was expected to be dried up by next week.
This will relieve pressure from the Department of Homeland Security. Secretary Mullen, who I've spoken to in the last couple of hours, will be greatly relieved. The president will, the administration will.
Keep in mind, the passed bill does not fund ICE and parts of Customs and Border Protection. That's still being worked out. Coming up, talk about unique. These one-of-a-kind tractors are coming to UNL. How you can see them in person and what makes them so special when we come back.
A chilly last day of April and the first day of May is going to be a little cool as well, but there are warmer temperatures on the horizon. We'll take a look when we come back.
New at 10, a one-of-a-kind tractor is coming to Lincoln, and you can see it. These new methane machines will be donated to UNL's Institute of Agriculture. The New Holland T6.180 is the world's first 100% methane-powered tractor. It runs for around $287,000. The university is getting 2 of them, and you can see them up close next Tuesday at the Eastern Nebraska Research Extension and Education Center at 10 a.m. Students will then use them for ag research and education opportunities. Well, right now, anticipation and concern over an approved poultry facility in Gage County near Cortland. Many are speaking up against the business looking to expand its operations. Channel 8's Danielle Da Silva talked to the owner of the facility and one commissioner who is speaking up after a motion to help control any odor failed.
Emily Haxby is the VP supervisor for Gage County and a 5th-generation farmer. She says odors go hand in hand with raising livestock and hope to get a tree-lined barrier around a poultry center coming to Gage County. She points to scientific studies suggesting these barriers reduce odors up to 16%.
Planting trees as a shelter belt is a very minimal cost, a very minimal responsibility, or something that we can do that has a great impact on the community.
She says although these barriers aren't mandated in Gage County like it is in Lancaster County, the community wants one up. Haxby says putting up one could help the future of farming, adding that being a good neighbor is part of the farming values.
I like to see people trying to be that respectable person, that good neighbor, because it really does make the next applicant that comes in, it makes that a little bit easier, because those people that have a good experience then talk to their neighbors about that good experience, and it just kind of travels better that way.
Ash Road Poultry LLC currently raises free-range chickens for the company Smart Chickens. They have 10 barns up already and plan to add 8 more. With an approved permit, the facility is good to go, but some community members worry it could diminish the appeal to the area.
3 weeks ago, my wife and I had to wake up about 2:15 in the morning and shut our windows because the smell was so bad.
Also,
and who wants to buy a property that has, smell all the time from chicken houses of 18 barns?
Roy Mulder is a farmer and livestock producer for Smart Chickens. He says he learned of the community's concerns at town meetings, but it hasn't impacted his decision on the tree barrier.
We do not want to do anything that would encourage predators that would kill the chickens. Chickens have no defense mechanism other than to sit down and wait for the disaster to happen.
Mulder adds they will have some walls, but the risks aren't entirely gone.
We fence our range areas with a fence to keep them out, but that does not help from an aerial attack.
Danielle Da Silva for Channel 8 News.
And new at 10, the runaround of this weekend's full and half marathon here in Lincoln. They're going to start at Memorial Stadium, go down to Union College, come back around the stadium and down to Holmes Lake, turn around and cross the finish line once again back at Memorial Stadium. The run starts at 6:55 a.m. on Sunday. There will be numerous road closures, so expect some slow traffic through at least the first half of Sunday.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
We'll start off this forecast by looking at LO camera at 21st and L Street. A pretty quiet night out there. One car. How's it going? Oh, there's another one. It's a pretty quiet evening out there. It's Thursday night. Tomorrow's Friday. Weekend's almost here. Now, first the bad news. Drought monitor did not improve unless you're in very far southeast Nebraska. This area will be the improvement. Over here, not so much. Already last week, the western half of the state had an extreme drought. Now, like I said, this part improved right here, but that was about it. This is what is concerning to me, this spot right here. This is an exceptional drought. Usually when you start to see those, they're hard to get rid of, and they usually expand before they get smaller. So we need the rainfall. That's just all there is to it. And there just isn't a lot in the forecast. So likely going to see that expand and more. And well, everybody that needs the rain knows we need the rain. Temperatures right now, a lot of 30s already showing up in Broken Bow. Thedford, big swath of 30s here. Most of us, though, in the 40s from Lincoln, Beatrice, Hebron, 44 in Grand Island, 47 in Nebraska City, almost into the 30s in Columbus at 41 degrees. Barely a breath of wind. I mean, it is less than 5 miles per hour. We don't get to say that very often in Nebraska, that's for sure. And everybody, a lot of, look at all those calms. Grand Island, Broken Bow, North Platte, Ogallala, O'Neill, Omaha, calm wind. We'll take it. And look at that, no wind gusts whatsoever. Love that. Now the wind will try to pick back up tomorrow. You probably noticed it today. I know when I was out and about taking the dog for a walk, it's like, geez, the wind, it wasn't that bad yesterday. Yesterday and today, very similar temperature-wise. The wind was the big difference. Little bit of a frontal boundary here, a spot sprinkle or two possible from O'Neill to Sioux City. Columbus, Omaha might see a sprinkle. Lincoln, I kind of doubt it. If we do, it would be 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and that would be it. But I think everything is just going to clear out. It's going to run into some very dry air, and it'll probably look like this as we head through the overnight. So I think we'll have partly to mostly clear skies early tomorrow morning. That should lead to a cold start to the day. We'll try to warm up, but when you start off in the lower and middle 30s, it's hard to warm up a lot. And so tomorrow I think will be similar to today, temperature-wise and wind-wise. So a little blustery at times, a little chilly, but I think a mixture of clouds and sun through a good portion of the day, and then clearing the sky out again for Friday. I think Saturday morning will likely be the coldest of the bunch. But looking forward, I'm looking for any rainfall. And our next decent chance is here. We have to wait until late Monday into Tuesday for just a couple of areas, maybe a ½ an inch of rain to the north and west where they desperately need it, and they'll take it, but most of us less than 1/10 of an inch. So again, not a whole lot going on out there. Tonight, temperatures in the 30s, so because of that, a frost advisory through tomorrow morning. We'll probably need another one of these for Saturday morning, and I think Saturday will be a little bit colder than tomorrow morning. We bump back up into the upper 50s and lower 60s, and then after starting off cold near the freezing mark Saturday morning, 68, 45, and then 80 on Sunday. But we cool back down into the 60s as we head towards Monday and Tuesday, Cinco de Mayo, back into the 70s and eventually the 80s by the end of next week, into Mother's Day weekend where we see the 70s and 80s. Weather trivia time, there are 2 full moons this May. The first is a full flower moon. What's the second one called? Is it the full pink, blue, yellow, or green?
All right, I'm 0 for 3 this week, Rusty.
I'll give you a hint. There's 2 full moons.
What?
It says there are 2 full moons. That says months. It's 2 full moons. I misspelled that. Boy.
There's a song, Blue Moon.
True. True.
Do I dare go with Blue Moon?
You're absolutely, that's right. It's a blue moon. When there's 2 full moons in the same month, the second one's called a blue moon.
Blue moon. I think that's the one. All right, thank you, Rusty. The war in Iran having a huge impact on fuel prices today. They're at record highs not seen since 2022. This playing a big role in the prices we're seeing at the pump, of course. Right now, AAA saying the national average sits at $4.03 a gallon. That's around 3 cents higher than this time last week. And as you can see, Nebraska hanging at around $3.09 per gallon. That's nearly 2 cents higher than last week. Here in Lincoln, closer look, citizen journalist Kevin here getting to look at prices at the Super C at 17th and L. A gallon of regular unleaded going for more than $4 around that area of the city. Be sure to show us any high prices you're coming across and get paid while you do it. Just scan the QR code on your screen and download the Now Local News app. Coming up next, we're going to head into the sports zone. A familiar face to the Lincoln community is stepping away from the spotlight. Salt Dogs president Charlie Meyer is retiring. Hear from the longtime team leader right
Now, from the Channel 8 Sports Zone, sponsored by Greens Furnace and Plumbing, here's Channel 8 News Sports with Sports Director Nate Johnson. The Channel 8 News Sports Zone.
Well, hey, what's going on? Thanks for tuning into the Sports Zone this evening. Great to have you here. After more than 26 years, the Lincoln Salt Dogs president Charlie Meyer will retire. Myers expressed his gratitude for all the years here in Lincoln, and today I had the chance to catch up with him. And here are some of the accomplishments during Myers' tenure: appearing in the American Association Wolf Cup Finals in 2009 and 2014, claiming the championship in 2009. Lincoln also hosted the 2003 Northern League All-Star Game, and maybe the most well-known, Haymarket Park has been named the American Association Best Playing Surface 24 years in a row, dating back to Lincoln's first year as an organization in 2001. Pretty impressive. Here was Myers on stepping away and a message to the Salt Dogs fans and to Lincoln.
Like I said, I'm forever grateful. I want to thank the fans. I want to thank the corporate partners. And again, I want to thank the Abel family for having trust in me to run this organization. And like I said, it's went by really fast. I guess when you have a job it's fun and you're coming out to the ballpark each and every day, who wouldn't want to have this gig? And, it's been a great run. Thank you, Lincoln, for letting it happen.
A great run indeed. Excited for his next chapter in life. And thank you for all your service to this community. The Salt Dogs home and season opener is set for Friday, May 15th. First pitch at 7:05 p.m. Staying on the diamond, let's check in on the GPAC tournament today from the baseball and softball field, starting with the Concordia baseball team, who was taking on the 6th seed Dakota Wesley. The Bulldogs got going early, scoring 1 run in the first, another 3 runs in the third, and in the 6th, Carson Burnett burst this game open with a grand slam. The Bulldogs would go on and win today 12-1, so they will be back to work tomorrow at Sherman Park at 3 p.m. And here's a look at how Concordia and Doane fared today. Bulldogs win 12-1. Doane had to win twice today to keep their season going, and they do, so they'll be back in action tomorrow as well. A couple of big wins over Northwestern and Briarcliff this afternoon. As for the Concordia softball team, the Bulldogs went up against the 2 seed and tournament host Dordt University today. A hard-fought battle that went Dort's way. The Bulldogs got out to a stellar start, leading 2-0 after the second inning, but Dordt closed the gap, especially in the 4th, scoring 3 runs. The final of the night, 6-4. Still a very solid season for Concordia. Transitioning to some Husker news, let's talk some Nebraska basketball. The Huskers officially signing San Diego State transfer Taj DeGorville, who is a 6'5" guard from Las Vegas, who comes to Lincoln after spending the past 2 seasons with the Aztecs. He averaged 5.5 points, 3 assists, and 2.8 rebounds per game with the team last season. And finally, per reports, the Huskers have also signed a new big man, South Dakota State transfer Damon Wilkinson, who confirmed the news via Instagram. The 6'10", 245-pound redshirt sophomore averaged 13.9 points, a team-high 6.4 rebounds, and almost 1 block per game last year. And that will do it for sports tonight, though. Rod will send things back over to you.
All right, thank you, Nate. Quick mention on Charlie Meyer. I've known him for 25 years now. Always has been a class act. Wish him the very best. Stay with us. Final check your forecast next. Finally tonight, while many of you are fast asleep, a lot of wild critters are running around out there. Citizen journalist Brian sending us this video from a trail camera to our Now Local News app. Plenty of wildlife in the neighborhood, he says. Foxes scurrying around, some checking out the camera. And wait for it, not to be outdone, Mr. Ricky Raccoon bringing up the rear.
That's awesome.
Look at that.
Oh my goodness. I've got a family of foxes in my backyard that we've been watching for the last several weeks. 5 babies and a mama. Oh, adorable.
They are, those little babies. All right, Rusty, let's get a final check of the weather as we get ready to say goodbye to April.
It's hard to believe May starts tomorrow, and you know, that's when things really start to warm up. Not tomorrow morning. We will have a chill in the air. It's chilly out there right now, 30s and 40s. Early tomorrow morning, frost is going to be a good possibility. So frost advisories for central and eastern Nebraska. There you go. There's your frost advisory for just about everybody in central and eastern Nebraska. Then we warm up into the upper 50s and lower 60s, then back down into the lower 30s, maybe in some 20s out there early Saturday morning. And then we start to warm back up. It'll feel more like spring around here on Saturday.
All right, thank you, Rusty. And thank you so much for joining us tonight. Andrew and Houston, they get up early. They're scurrying around. They start the news at 5 a.m. Jimmy Kimmel's coming up next. Have a great night.
At Comfort Made Mattress Factory, we build each mattress specifically for you right here in our locally owned store. We can even make his side different than hers, backed by our lifetime comfort guarantee.
Let your voice be heard by sharing your photos and videos to the Now Local News app. Earn points and redeem them for gift cards. Scan the QR code to join.
Tired of dealing